Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, and this is the next segment in my coloring of the Selena Finish Mermaid in the Bathtub. And as promised, today I'm going to be working on showing you how to color the flesh. Now, don't let this throw you. It's not, again, it's not super complex. You just need to know what you're looking for and what colors to put on there, and you'll be in really good shape. So just because you're a beginner doesn't mean that you can't create wonderful results. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit on the one that I've previously colored. You can see how I did that. Yeah, looking good. Alright, so let's get to the task at hand. Now, we already did the floorboard. And thank you for everybody that's been sending me in your samples. They look really good. Proud of you. See, you can do this. You really can. Alright. So, let me get working on my angles a little bit here with my camera. Alright, so, here's my piece now, of course, without the coloring. This is the sheet that I worked on last time with your floorboard, so you can see the progression. And now we're going to do our skin tone and our lady in the bathtub. So let me swing you around a little bit here. Alright. So you're going to basically be using 3 or 4 pencils, depends what I'm going to end up showing you. The first one is a Faber-Castell, and that's Vicky coming up the stairs while she's shaking her head. This is the Ivory number 103. This is a great pencil to have just for a lot of coloring. I use it all the time for a lot of things, and I highly recommend it. Give me a second here while I remove her collar. Sweetie, I love you. Yeah. You just never know what you're going to hear when you're listening to my videos. Okay, so back to the subject at hand. Yes, we're gonna do the Ivory, highly recommended pencil. Again, the number 103. Now, when you order this, if you use Faber-Castell, this one has the little edges to it. That's because I accidentally ordered the watercolor pencil. You don't want that one. You want the standard Polychromos, which is, the round pencil. No bumps on it. So a couple of you asked me why some of my pencils had bumps on it. Again, I ordered it by mistake. Same quality, same color, just different functions. Alright, so there's the Ivory. Again, I have always a couple pencils of that color on hand to help you. Okay, the next one that I'm going to be using, which is a biggie color, is the... Let me get that here for you. This is the light flesh. They make a light, a medium, and a dark flesh. And this color is number 132. Okay? See if I can pop up. There you go, 132. And then the next one I'm going to be using in this tutorial, which is the next darker one, is the medium flesh number 131, which is that one. There you go. Again, Faber-Castell, because they're my favs. And then the next one I'm going to be using is Faber-Castell, and that number, let me take a peek, is number 191, and that's the Pompion Red. There you go. There you go. Okay? So we're all set on our pencils. Let me show you all of them together in order of darkness to light. Okay? And we're in good shape with that. Here, let me show you against. Let me do this. There we go. Duh. Much better. Okay? All right. So, let's get coloring. Maybe that's my new tagline. Let's get coloring. All right. So the first thing that you can see that I did is I laid down my lighter color. So let me get a piece of paper just to put underneath here because I don't want to be coloring right on top of my book. In fact, let me move my book. No, let me not move my book because I want to be able to show you what's going on here. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be laying my first color of, and let me get in closer so you can see what a concept. I'm going to be laying my first color, which is my ivory. And see, you can see that. See the color difference between the white and the ivory? So if you're thinking, hey, why do I need to do that? It's because you want the more realistic color on that. So you don't really want to have her starting with super, super white skin, right? So let's get this color put down. And you know, I was talking about the difference between the watercolor pencil, the ones with the little ridges. I could take a Q-tip with a little water to that and then spread the color. That's what watercolor pencils let you do. And honestly, I'm not really into that a lot. So it's funny, as I'm coloring, this feels a little tackier, meaning it's not quite as smooth. Kind of hard to explain. The lead kind of sticks to the paper a little more as I'm coloring. Again, same color quality, but just a different function. Now, if you're into watercoloring with your color pencils, have at it. That's cool. But I'm not really, so when I run out of this pencil, my next one that I buy, I'll buy the right one, and it won't have ridges on it. What a concept. Okay, I'm going to tilt you up a little bit here as I move. Let me get in a little closer and turn. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to do the shoulder. And you want your color to be uniform, of course, smooth. And see, I'm not coloring over that line, right? Remember what I told you? Don't color over the lines. Let's see here. So I want to make sure I have all of her neck. That's hair. Okay. And then I'm going to do under her arm. Around the elbow. So today is Thursday. Let me check something real quick. Thursday, June 23rd. Yeah. Alright, so I'm coloring her arm. Now I'm going to be coloring up on her fingers. Do not color the nails, right? Just color the fingers. Turn your pencil. Oh, so anyway, the reason I was telling you what today's day is, day and date, which I always do anyway, is I was at my local police department's Citizens Academy. Now, I can't show you the pictures because if I do that, it stops my recording, so obviously that's not a good thing. So as soon as I figure out a way to do that, I'm going to show you the pictures of me there. You'd laugh. But it was very interesting and a lot of fun. So all that to say, if your police department offers a Citizens Academy, go. Please go. They were teaching us what the police, what their restrictions are, what they can and cannot do. Very informative. They had a suspect attack each of us, not for real, of course. And so we had to act as though we were the police officer. And boy, I'll tell you, you really get a feel for what those guys go through. There's split-second decisions and everything else. So, not that I didn't respect them before, but I just super respect them now. Well, I super respected them before, but you know what I mean. And then my other story is yesterday I'm on the way home from my local Walmart after church. And, I'm sorry, that academy was Tuesday. So last night I'm coming home from church, and I stopped by at Walmart to get myself a sub and some cinnamon rolls. Package of 6 or 8, I think. So I'm driving on the way home, and I drive by our local fire station. Now, mind you, it's at night, and it's like, I don't know, 89, 90 degrees and muggy like you wouldn't believe. And one of the guys is standing out there washing down the emergency ambulance. So I tooted at him, and he waved back. So I turned around and went back and pulled out I bought the cinnamon rolls and pulled out my package of cinnamon rolls and offered some to him. So I said, well, how many are in the station there? And he said, well, there's 3 of us, because I was going to give him, one to take in with him. And I said, look, do you think it's really a smart idea for me to send you in there with 1 cinnamon roll when there's 3 of you? So I gave him half the package. So that's just a fun little story. I like doing stuff like that. So instead of coming home with 8 cinnamon rolls, I came home with 4, which is okay because I'm a bigger lady and that was really no big deal for me. It was a good thing. So God is good. And besides, when God taps on your shoulders and whispers in your ear to do something like that, who am I to argue with him? Not me. Okay, so back to coloring. I did all the skin in the ivory. Okay, don't forget that was our number 103 ivory. Okay, yeah, there you go. All right, so now I've got my flesh, 132. Let me show you the original again. In fact, I'm going to do a side-by-side coloring. Woohoo! How's that? This works for this. So, the way you color flesh is you want your darker flesh to be around the outside. Now, if you're watching my other videos, especially the one where I'm doing the Lost Ocean, which putting the drawing on the drawing, I'm teaching you how to have the darker color towards the outside and then the lighter color as you go towards the inside, and that starts to give you that really neat three-dimensional effect. Well, same difference with this. And let me zoom in on that while I reach for a book because there's something else I want to show you. Let's see. Let me get through my coloring books here. Bear with me. Because while I'm talking to you, it brought to mind another book where I colored something in that I want you to see. Oh, there it is. Let me find it. It's from my Doodler's Anonymous coloring book. I love doing this one picture I'm going to show you. It was tons of fun. In fact, it was basically the main reason I bought the silly book. Alright, so we pull out because I got to show you this book. It is my Doodler's Anonymous coloring book. I love this book. I'm not going to do a walkthrough right now because that's not the purpose of this video, but you know, there's some really neat stuff. It's just different. It really is. Really cool stuff in here, just different. Let's see here. Where's my one I want to do? I'm going to be working on... I mean, look at that. Isn't that neat? Different. A little bizarre. But you can go on YouTube and see a walkthrough. This is the cover. I'm really anxious to do that one. There's the cover, okay? And, excuse me. Let me try and find the one I want to do. Yeah, there it is. The little girl with the flashlight and the fish and the antenna and the light coming down, and you know, you color in the light and then make this stuff, this part of the greenery light. So this is going to be a fun one to do. Anyway, out of Doodler's Anonymous, – 'here's the one that I did. Is that not sweet? Yeah, look at that one. Flesh tone. Suntan. Darker to the edge, lighter in the middle. Is that not cool? I just love that one. I really do. See? And then, of course, under the bathing suit here, when you lay down, you know, it's scrunched up a little bit, so of course that skin's going to be lighter, right? And then the darker skin, and then a little darker next to the band. Okay? See how I did that? And then darker on the foot, and the footy on the bottom. And then the sand. Okay, squiggled to kind of represent sand. So that is a really cool. But anyway, I wanted to show you how I did the flesh on that one so you get an idea where I'm going with all this. Trust me, I will get there. I may zigzag a little bit, but I will get there, and you'll be all the better for it. All right. So I've got my side-by-side so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to take my light flesh, as I told you. And let me get my paper towel to lay my hand on before I make a liar out of myself by talking to you about always laying your hand on something so you don't mess up your drawings. And what you're going to do is, again, very lightly, right? Let the pencil do the work. Let it start to lay the color. Very lightly, you're going to start laying down the flesh color. A little bit darker on the inside, right? And then get lighter as you go towards the center. Okay? There is nothing mysterious about this. Same thing all around. I'm going in my little circles, right? And I'm letting the pencil do the work. And notice as this is getting darker and darker, right, I'm doing that by passing over it a number of times and not scribbling it in the first time. You know, I'm really trying to get that concept into your mind. So when I come down here a little bit, I'm going to go in a little bit and go out and then come back down. You'll see why in a minute. And the other little story on myself is this is one of my other pencils that has the ridges. It's the watercolor one. So I screwed up with that. This one is called, Albright Dur. Let's see if we can, see that? Albright Dur. You don't want those. Those are the, if you don't want watercolor. You want polychromos, Faber-Castell polychromos. So, you know I'm always telling stories on myself. Oop. Just went outside of the line a little bit. Oop. Let's just throw that around. Okay, so please look at the side by side while I'm coloring this. Slightly darker towards the outside. Darker on the inside. And notice on the fingers, I'm just doing this on one side, okay? Now don't get too heavy-handed. Remember, it's easier to add color than it is to subtract it. Okay, now I'm going to curl a little bit. See how I'm curling? That's okay. You're getting that roundness. Let me zoom in on that little section while I'm doing that. See, I'm curling a little bit, and it's getting darker in a U shape. You'll start to see that, okay? And I need to pull back out just so I can see where I am. All right, so down the other side, right? And I'm going to curl, following the line. See how I'm following that? Okay, now I'm going to come up here. Just a little bit of color in there on the other side of the line. I'm not coloring on the black. See how I'm going towards the center? just lightly. Oh, I completely forgot to do a spot. Forgive me. Back to my ivory. This is her breast. Oops. Let me go back with my color. That's so funny. I think I did that the first time I did this too. Sorry about that. We can't take her boob off, can we? She'd be looking pretty silly. All right. Okay. Back to the breast a minute. I'm going to put a little color here and then curve. See how I'm curving this? Because her breast is curved, right? And then coming back up again. Right next to her hand. Okay, now back to the hand. And see how I've gone in just a little bit, okay? All right, now we've got the shoulder, right? And your shoulder curves around this way. So now, watch how I do this. Is that not cool? Look how that shoulder immediately comes into play, right? Take your time, don't overload your color the first time through. And guys, once you think it's looking good and to where you want it, stop. Don't keep trying to fix it. Now as I go in towards the center, I'm lightening up, okay? But I want that curve mostly on the top and the darkest right here on the top. And then I'm going to color right where her hair is, outline a little bit, right? Thank you, Vicki, for saying hello. Up her back. And just a little bit of hint of color around her hair. All right, cool beans. What do you think? Let me zoom in. Yeah? See? Now remember, I haven't blended that yet either, but it's looking pretty cool, isn't it? All right, you two can do this. All right, so keep looking over here while I'm doing this. I mean, look back and forth. Okay, so now I'm going to go up her arm. Slightly darker towards the edge. Lighten up as I start to move in. And don't move in very far. See, this width is smaller here. So you got to be very careful how far you go in. I had more to play with here. So that's why I could go in just a little bit further. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to go up. Now, elbow, right? Going to go back and forth on that a little bit. Let me zoom in on doing her elbow. Sorry for the camera wiggle. And then I'm going to go up the arm. Alright. Darker towards the outside. Lighten up as I move in. Okay. Brush that. And let's see, the reason it's looking a little bumpy right there is because I had the edge of a paper underneath there. I've done that. I'm coloring and all of a sudden I get this funny bump. And it's because there's paper underneath. Oh well, smooth it out. Okay. So, I've got that going. Let's look at the side by side. And if you heard that bell, you may have, may not have, but anyway, I've taught my dog when she's got to go to the bathroom to ding a little bell, and it's really great because she just lets me know when she's got to go. But of course I'm ignoring her right now because I'm in the middle of something, so that's okay. She'll be fine. And no, she won't mess. Alright, so look at that side by side. Doesn't that look neat? Okay. Now, I'm going to go up with my ivory and color the face and the neck, which honestly, before I forgot to do that, but that's okay. But see, now you can see the difference why this laying down this ivory is so important as your base color, because you can see it next to the arm that's done and what the difference it makes. Pop in here for you. Again, I am not just randomly coloring over the black lines on her where her eye is. In between where the eyeshadow goes, that's fine. There you go. See? You can see them side by side. Alright. Now I'm going to color her face. Now before I do that, you tell me where you think I should color it. I mean, you can look at the picture, but you should know, you should be starting to know. On the edge of the neck, right? Edge of the neck, lighten up as you move in. Okay. And around her chin. Lightly. Lighten up as you go inward. Don't go inward too far. Okay. Around the underneath the edge of the nose there. And up on the forehead a little bit. Just a little bit. And then underneath the hairline. Okay? There you go. Look at the side by side. And pull out. Oh, sorry. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's cool. Alright. Blender pencil, right? Cleaning it off. Now, what I'm going to do is very, very gently, maybe about a 1, is I'm just going to go over that flesh color I just put on there. Very lightly. Blends it in beautifully. Go over it lightly and go over it infrequently. You don't need to blend and blend and blend and blend and blend. You'll mess it up. Now we get her breast. Down the side of her arm. Get that curve there. Get in the finger. Let me hit one more spot. I didn't catch her finger here. Just on the edge. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about that. And the reason I'm blending this is I want the flush shadowing to look natural. Okay? You don't want to see stark color change. Because think about that. Does the color change on your own skin? Is it stark? No. Here, let me pull this up again. See? It's not stark. Dark to lighter to light. See, that's my light flesh color. See? Isn't that neat? Now I gotta clean off my pencil again because I put brown on there. Alright. So, very, very lightly, infrequent, right? Let's just hit those little highlights. And the last piece I need to do, let me zip up here a little, is the top of her hand. And I don't think I can keep both of them in at the same time, sorry. But I'm going to do the tops, right? Just a little bit. Turn your pencil while you're doing it. And I'm outlining on the outside basically of each finger. Look how cool that looks now. Isn't that neat? And see, this flesh here where I dark is a little wider than like right there, so that also gives a nice little dimension as well. You'll see that in a second when I move my hand. See how I'm doing that? So if you vary your width a little bit, that also makes it interesting. Alright, pulling out. Actually, let me go to this hand here and zoom in. Okay, you can see how I did that. Alright, now I'm pulling out. As you can see both. I like this side-by-side thing. I think I'm going to have to do that more with you guys. Alright, now we're going to add a little bit of extra color. Now, you could stop here. Let me grab a drink of water here while you're eyeballing that. Oh, I get to talking and I forget to drink something. You could stop there. But now I'm going to show you how to add just a little more panache to this. So now I'm going to take my 131 pencil. Let me double check something here. Hold on. And this is my medium flesh. And I'm going to very lightly, staying near the edge, and just very, very lightly, I'm just going to add just a little darker tinge. Okay? Oh, right on the outside. I hate that when I do that. And I had a really nice flow going there. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, back to this. Very, very, very light, okay? I'm just adding a little bit of highlight here. I'm not quite going out to the edge of this flesh color, the light flesh that I added, but I am coming in a little bit. And I'm not really darkening near the edge here. I'm just letting the color do its thing. See how that's starting to give a really neat dimension now to this? And again, the whole concept is that you're darker to the edges and lighter in the middle. Because as your eye starts to see that shade, it's starting to see depth. Okay? And I popped out again. Hold on, let me find something. It's so funny. Sometimes I'll do a video with you guys. No problem. Other times, I just keep zipping out there. Oh well. Well, hi, sweetie. Alright. Just a very, very subtle, light, right, addition of this next color. And as you're watching it on this video, you can see how I'm now really getting some depth. Okay? Yeah. Again, a 1 or a 2 at the most, pressure. Now, if you have the heebie-jeebies about coloring skin and stuff, make a copy of the page and practice. A couple of you have contacted me and told me that's what you do. Perfect. Again, and I'll say this again, personal copies only. Do not hand them out or else you're a thief. Okay, so just a little dark here. Up the arm. Pressure, 1 or 2. And I'm not hanging around. In other words, I don't keep coloring over. I hit it like once or twice, maybe. Okay? Oh, yeah. Let's take a look. I'm real happy with that. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to follow this and do it. And see how I went inward a little bit and just to add a little extra dimension here, and see what that did is that created a little oval of light right here by just going whoop. And then I've got another oval of light here outlined by this tan. Oh my gosh, excuse me. All right, so I'm using my blender pencil very lightly, 1 maybe of the weight. And again, I'm not hanging around to blend, just very light. Okay? Look at how beautiful that is. Okay, now, again, you can stop here. And if you're nervous at all about continuing to add, that's fine. This looks great. But I'm just going to show you a little extra touch that's optional. Personally, I'd like to see you do it because I don't want you to be afraid to do this. Don't be afraid to try this, especially since you're watching my videos, because I walk you through this, right? Okay. So now I'm using my darkest pencil, which is my Pompian Red, the 191. I showed that to you earlier. Okay, here we go. One final little touch. Very lightly towards the edge. A very, very skinny line. Very light. Very smooth. Okay. Don't go overboard with it, and see, you can see the drastic difference now between here and here as far as that skin lighting up. See, and here and here. Sharp point, light touch, 1 or 2 passes only. Elbow, I'm going to stick around a little bit and darken that. Okay. So that's like 3 or 4 passes. Now I'm back up to 1 or 2. Right near the edge, lightly, because you don't want to see a stark line between here and your other colors that you put on it. It's got to look like it blends in. Now if you get a stark line, use your blender tool carefully. But look at this last touch on here and how cool that makes this, right? See? Catch the inside finger, this finger, and now let's get here. I'm going to do a few more passes here. See, look how that's giving nice little depth to that, right? So that was 3, 4, 5 passes there. Now I'm back to 1, 2, 3 here, 1 or 2. Okay, down here, 2 or 3 passes. Look at that pop. Isn't that neat? Yeah. All right, you too can color flesh. Okay, now very lightly here, 1 pass maybe. 2 and 3 and 4 here, lightly. Okay. Don't get crazy with it. You know how when you take medicine and it says take 2 pills to make you feel better, and you say, well, if 2 are going to make me feel good, 4 will make me feel better? No, you don't want to overload. Now very, very, very lightly, look at how I'm shading this. Oh, just a 0.5. You know, when I say 1 to 2, that's 0.5. Just a very, very light touch here with this. See? Okay, now let's go here. 1 to 2 passes. Blending it, blending it, blending it. Yeah. And then right under the armpit here. Okay. Little tiny bit in the throat. Nuts. Got into the hair. Excuse my finger there, wiping. Okay. Just a little bit underneath the chin. Okay. Just a tad by the nose, I mean once. Okay. A little bit of passing there. Here. Let's see, it's hit by the breast. 1 or 2, remember, 1 or 2. Or 3. Okay. And I just went up and down here. I didn't do it by the tub, just where the hand is. Alright, underneath the arm. 1 or 2, right? Strokes. Now I'm going to do about 3, 4, 5 on the elbow, because I want that a little darker. One or 2 here, 1 or 2 there. Carefully. Now I did it there, picked up, did there, a little bit there, picked up there, a little bit there, picked up, did there. Alright, let me brush this. Look at that. Isn't that great? Now, I did not add all these colors over on this one. I did it here. That's why these look a little different if you're wondering. But look how cool that looks. Alright, now I'm going to use my blender pencil. And I'm going to very, very lightly, like maybe once over, just barely hit this. See how fast I'm doing that? Like 1 hit. That's it. Quick hits. Okay? Look at that, see? Just real quick. What do you think? You like that? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do one thing, and this is just me. I want to extend that pink in just a little bit more here, just to round that muscle area. See where I'm kind of having it come together just a little bit. Not a lot, because there's not really a muscle there, but I just wanted to do that just for depth. Okay. So, and I'm not going to do the makeup today. I'll probably do that when I go to finish up on her tail, because I've done long enough on this one. All right, because we're at what, 44 minutes right now? So I'm going to grab a little pink here. It's 128 light purple pink. I'm going to add a curved line, just very, very gently for her cheek. And again, less is more. Don't get crazy with it. When it starts to look good to you, stop. Blender pencil, especially for the cheek, because you want that just light. Don't you hate that when women put a gob of blush on? Oh my gosh, it looks awful. I'll tell you what, and see, I'm just very lightening that in. Shoot, let me finish that. I'm going to get my Kaput Moratorium number 265, Faber-Castell again, which is my brown. Just a touch. And I'm going to extend it to the left a little bit. So in other words, I'm going a little further where the eye's drawn. See, on this one, let me go over here. On this one, the eye stops right there. Okay, I went over that. I wanted just a longer eyeshadow. I think that looks cool. And then I'm going to grab, good girl, Vicki, I'll take you out in a minute. Then I'm going to grab, let's see, a number 167 olive green, because mermaids, I think, have green eyes. Okay. And then I'm going to get a really nice rosy pink for the lips, which is going to be my fuchsia Faber-Castell number 123. Let me come in on that. I'm sorry, excuse me for the movement. Color light, real light. Light, 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 light. Hardly touch it. Okay? Very light. And in fact, what I want you to do, I missed the tip, didn't I? Just on the very end there. And then what I want you to do, if you're still following, if you're doing this with me especially since I hit on the outside there, is go ahead and hit this with your blender pencil, because what that will do is that will lighten the color. Okay, see how I'm getting a nice, really lighter pink on that? And then sharpen your pencil to a very, very sharp point. I mean super sharp. This is one last touch I'm going to do here. Color just on the very outline top of the lip. And just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay? So remember, let the pencil do the work. Look how cool that is. And just outline that lip. Okay? Now, I've got one little pink spot up there that I don't want. I've shown you this trick before. Use it with extreme caution. I've got my X-Acto knife. You've seen me use this in other videos. I've got to just pop off that little pink. I'm just scraping it off because I blundered it. There we go. Yeah. See? And actually, here's a little... Sorry about that. If you do that with an X-Acto knife, be very careful and be very judicious with it. All right, guys, let me show you the finished product. Here you go. Isn't that beautiful? I hope you like it. You see the side-by-side that I did it. I hope that you see the skin is not, to color it is not exotic. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, one more thing. Woohoo, I couldn't quit without this. Same lip color same color I used for the lips. How could you let me forget this? The nails. Sorry. Can't let her go out in the bathtub without her nails colored. Again, work the color. Don't put it down there all at once. Okay? And in fact, what I'm doing is I did a light color down at the bottom, and I'm doing a darker color at the top of the nail. So that kind of gives a nice three-dimension effect. See, right on the edge. Okay, now she's done. Woohoo! All right. So, there's a side-by-side comparison. It is not complex. You can do a beautiful job with this. All right, guys. I'm almost an hour now. Sorry, but it's the skin. This is ILene Vick for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. I hope this helped you. God bless you. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Again, like my video if you like it, and please share this. All right, guys. Love you guys. Take it easy. Bye.